So I have a butternut squash. I'm gonna make some soup. So let's get it. First, we're gonna take this. I already washed it off and got all the little dirt or whatever off, but I'm gonna chop this. These things are not easy to cut. Let me just say that. So once you finally get it cut lengthwise, sheesh. I'm trying to get through this dang on whatever this called. There we go. Sheesh. So after using a lot of force, Joy, come out of there. Oh my gosh. This thing. There we go. All right. So we got it in half. Finally. I don't know why it took me so long, but I'm going to scoop out these seeds. I think I might save these because, you know, seeds are important and you can always reuse them. So hold on. Let me get my... Okay, so I got this little scooper that I got for the pumpkins when me and the kids do pumpkins. I'm just going to pour out the seeds. All right, set it to the side. Do the other half. You can even roast these seeds. Put some sea salt or some rosemary and make like a little snack full of vitamins, antioxidants. So I got both of these halves cored pretty good. Let me get my tray. So I got them on this little baking pan and I put some parchment paper down just to keep them from sticking and smelling up everything. All right, so now I'm gonna take some oil. This is just some olive oil. And we're gonna just kind of pour it. I like using this because it helps me to, you know, be able to put the amount of olive oil I want on there without wasting. Regulate some salt and pepper. I don't like to overdo it with some of the spices because I feel like just some regular salt, sea salt. Because sometimes when you overdo it with the seasons, they can overpower it. And, you know, you don't need to put everything on everything. Sometimes salt and pepper is just enough. Okay. So that's that with olive oil, salt and pepper. And I'm going to put it in the oven at like 425 for maybe 40 minutes until it's tender. Like where you can, with your... Okay, so while that's in the oven, I am taking these pumpkin seeds. I keep saying pumpkin. They look like pumpkin, but they're actually butternut squash seeds. And I am gonna take them, you know, some of them have pulp on it. Clean them and salt them. Just a little bit of salt, a little oil. I love living in this era of everybody knowing how to be healthy, or at least trying, intentionally to be healthier, to live longer. I'm having so much fun with just learning all this new stuff, and showing you all, my audience, my followers, all the new stuff I'm learning too, because knowledge is power, and it's important to share the wealth. A lot of times I think about like how much stuff we didn't get to capture back in the day from our ancestors, grandparents, whoever, and so some of that stuff gets lost. But nowadays we have so many. I don't know why this thing keeps moving. Sorry. Nowadays we have so many platforms and ways to store your data, and stuff you can have for legacy and building. And I just pray that everything I do touches somebody, heals somebody, helps somebody, influences somebody. That's the whole thing about being an influencer. You don't want it to go forth and be void. I hope that everything that I share and learn, and I just pray that God is all around it, and I know he is. So I'm just going to trust that nothing that I do is in vain, and everything is for the good of those that love the Lord. And my family, my kids, they want to learn about this kind of stuff so they can teach their kids. This is called breaking generational curses. This is what it looks like. So enough of that. I can go on and on, but these are the seeds from my squash. So I'm going to rinse them off and put them on a baking tray. I'll show y'all in a minute what they look like. Oh, and it's organic. So this is me rinsing them off, trying to get that excess pulp and just getting whatever else off of them so they'll be dry. I'll have to dry them out for a little bit, but yeah, look at that. Organic butternut squash. Okay, so this right here, I don't know if I can see it, is my seeds all washed. And I got them on here so they can dry. You want to have them dry pretty good, at least a decent amount, before they go into the oven. I wonder, you probably could put these in the air fryer too, but I'm going to put mine in the oven. So let's let them dry and I'll... Okay, so I got these out of the oven. They are ready. Got a nice texture to them so they can be transferred once they kind of cool off a little bit. I'm going to put them in another pot. I'm going to go ahead and start getting my other ingredients together. All right, so I'm going to turn my pan on, and I'm going to add a little bit of oil to it. There it is. Let there be light. So yep, I'm adding a little bit of oil to my pan so that I can saute and kind of get my onions and other ingredients, garlic and stuff together. So I'm gonna add this garlic. Oh, I see something. Oh, I gotta get them out. Oh, I see that onion in there. It's like a piece of skin. Oh, it's a piece of the... Anyway, adding that onion and garlic in there. And I'm also going to add some ginger. All of that will get broke down in the blender, so it's all good. Let that do its thing real quick while it's cooling off. Ooh, it's smelling so good over here. Ain't nothing like the smell of some onion and garlic. Put it ginger. Okay, guys, so now that this is getting translucent and and it's smelling beautiful. I'm gonna just take this and kind of just scoop out the flesh from my butternut squash and add it to the pot. So let me get, so simple. You just scoop it all out and transfer it into your pot. It's so hot. I was trying to let it cool off, but I'm greedy and I'm kind of rushing it. Not rushing the process, but rushing trying to get it going. Okay, so now I have all this in my pan. I am incorporating the squash, mixing it up good with those onions and garlic. Just trying to make sure it's okay. So next I'm going to add this, one of my favorites, the no chicken broth. Super good. You wouldn't even know the difference. So I'm gonna add this to my soup. I add the whole thing, which is almost right about 4 cups. And then I'm gonna put just a little bit of salt. And white pepper. Give it another good little stir. I'm gonna bring this to a boil. And then I'm gonna let it simmer. Oops, splatter. I'm gonna let it simmer for about 30 minutes before I put it into my blender. Can y'all smell that? Do y'all see it? It's starting to boil. Give it a nice stir. And because it's pretty much already cooked, I'm just gonna let it, I'm gonna simmer it for a little while just to keep it really flavorful and let everything marinate. So I'm gonna let it simmer and I'll be back. Okay, so that has been simmering for a while. It's really smelling amazing in here. And now it's time to transfer it to the blender. Okay, so now I have it sitting to the side and I'm gonna use my Ninja blender to kind of smooth this thing out. I'm gonna take my mixture, be very careful because it's super, super hot. So I can't see what I'm doing. Just pouring it all in here. Sometimes I'll take some of this pulp out because I don't want it to splatter when it gets too full. Gotta make sure that it doesn't splatter all over the place. So to prevent having a mess later, take a little bit of that out and then I can add it back in. So it's all in here. Take it down. So it's in there. Let's turn it on. And I'm just gonna do now I'm gonna add the rest of that little bit of pulp that I had. Put the lid back on. Make sure everything is closed good. Or restart it. Okay, so after you've blended it really well, you'll have a smooth, creamy mixture just like this. I'm gonna go and transfer this back onto the stove. Okay, so I'm gonna pour this into the pot. Look how creamy that is. Oh, this should last me a few days too. This would be good with like a grilled cheese. But today I'm gonna have it with a little biscuit I had from breakfast. Look at that. So I'm gonna put it back on a little low simmer, like a little medium low. And so now that I returned it to the heat, I'm gonna add some of my pumpkin coconut milk that I made earlier. So normally I would use regular coconut milk. I didn't have any, so I said, oh, I made some coconut milk earlier today, which has all the stuff I like, which is the cinnamon and the nutmeg and the ginger. So I'm gonna add this to my soup just to give it a little extra flavor. I'm putting a lot because I like this. I should have added some cinnamon in the beginning. I think it was one of the things I forgot. But this will make up for it. So I'm adding some of that. Let's give it a little, you know, little kick. Don't mind that. So now that I have it simmered, I'm going to stir that in a little bit just to get it all together. Look at that. This is beautiful. Oh, this is my love language. Some good food. I'm gonna let that simmer for just a few more minutes. All right, so the soup is done. I am going to pour a little bit into my bowl. Oh, too much of them there. Okay, I'll get that in a second. But this is it, guys. I'm going to add a little bit of fresh parsley to mine just for aesthetics and health. I have a warm biscuit right here that I made earlier. I'm gonna put a little bit of honey on it. So I took a little bit of honey to drizzle on my biscuit. Look at that. The perfect little snack on this chilly day. So excited. I'm so ready to enjoy this meal. And I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Continue to like and subscribe on all platforms that enhance style. All recipes that I do are from the heart, stuff that I just want to share with you guys. And like I said, hopefully it enhances your life and, just keep you healthy. Peace.